YouTubers, welcome to another episode of In the Woods Crafting. So as you can see, we're in my kitchen, going to start the spruce resin salve. It's medicinal salve. In the description I'll put what it's good for and its roots. It's been used by First Nations for thousands of years, both in North America, South America, and Europe and Asia, so all over the world, different types of spruce. But anyways, I'm just going to show you here. So these are 3 lunch bags that I picked up. I was able to harvest. We'll probably do the small one and the big one. Beeswax and olive oil, the only 3 ingredients we're going to use. So we're using a double boiler, so big pot full of water, just starting, and stainless steel bowl. So if you're going to take your wife's stainless steel bowl, make sure that you replace it. This is going to be my second time around. I was never able to get all the spruce resin back out of the bowl, but anyways, like I said, only 3 ingredients, so we're going to put the 2 bags of resin in, and I'm going to guesstimate maybe 2 cups, maybe a little bit more, of olive oil. And as it's reducing and turning back into a liquid, we'll be able to pull out the bark and pine needles, and I have a fine steel mesh strainer will be able to strain the rest of the impurities out of the resin and the oil once it's almost done. And then we'll take the beeswax. It's in brick form right now, but I got a cheese grater just for that, and I'm going to shred about 1/4, maybe 1/3 of the block, and melt that in a separate pot. And once we have the resin strained, we'll add the beeswax, and then we'll test it regularly to be able to see if we have the right consistency. You don't want it too hard, but then you don't want it too liquidy. And on Amazon I got 50 lip balm tubes, just the regular size ones for your chapsticks and stuff like that. And that's the way I'm going to give it away, or can't say sell it because I'm not a business, but you know, if people want to try, I'll leave my link down below and get a hold of me. But anyways, stay tuned. We're going to put this together. Thanks. So, as you see, I shredded up beeswax, cheese grater. Sorry. So, got about 1/3 of the block, and probably get a little bit more, 1/4 of the block. But here's our magic juice. Magic juice. So right now it's on a double boiler, and I'm basically heating the resin back to a liquid form. I've already got 2 cups of olive oil in there, and we're stirring it, trying to keep it from burning. It's not going to burn, but keep it from, or getting it to separate. There's the proper word. Getting it to separate from the bark. We got a lot of bark in there, pine needles, but that's why we're going to strain it. So anyways, this is where the stirring part comes in, and breaking up the bigger chunks where it all settles back up. So, but right now that olive oil is starting to get infused with resin. It could be used like that. The indigenous people, First Nations, actually used bear fat, obviously, instead of olive oil at that time. But it was either used raw right off the tree, or mixed with bear fat like it is. And I don't know if they use beeswax. I'm still researching some of those. But anyways, stay tuned. So that's my stainless steel bowl after all said and done. So there's the spruce resin infused, or olive oil infused spruce resin. And now I've just added the shavings of beeswax. It's on minimum heat there. So over here, this is all the bark that I took out of it, quite a bit, quite a bit more than I thought there was going to be in there. I thought it was a lot cleaner than it was. The reason I put it in an egg carton is it's going to harden, and actually it pretty much is hardening, and I'll be able to cut that up and use that as fire starter. I mean, there's a little bit of bark, a little bit of resin left inside, obviously, stuff that wouldn't melt out. You can see it's getting really hard, and obviously the oil, egg carton will make it nice to carry around. So it was a 1 pound brick, and I managed to shave it down. It's nice, manageable, and I put a full cup of shavings into the mixture. So now it's low heat, and we'll see what consistency we get. We'll have to test it in a couple of different spots. Like I said earlier, I have lip balm tubes, and I wanted almost like a lip balm consistency. Not too runny, not too dry, but obviously smooth enough that if you have an open wound, you can put it in without hurting yourself or aggravating the wound. Anyways, trying to keep you guys up to date. So, doesn't look like much, but that's the oil, virgin olive oil, spruce resin, and now the beeswax is infused. So I did a little dip, and now it's hardening, and it's exactly what I wanted as far as consistency. So I added, actually you could probably go a little bit more, maybe another third of a cup of beeswax. But this is what I was talking about, lip balm tubes. So I got 50 of them on Amazon for 17 bucks Canadian. So anyways, we're going to play with it a little bit more. Like I said, we might add a little bit more wax to it, but we'll see a little bit more if it hardens. At this point here, it's a lot of, it's opinion, I guess. It's whatever you're going to like as far as consistency. But it smells great in my kitchen though. Talk to you in a bit. So I'm done with the Spruce Salve. I got 50 lip balm tubes, 5 4-ounce jars. So gonna post the medicinal values to the description and stuff. So if you like the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little bell to get notifications. Thanks for sticking around. Talk to you later.